Hey girl, hey. So this was about to be a hey girl moment, and now I'm thinking about what I want to say, and I feel like it's gonna be longer than 60 seconds. So I'm in my house clothes. I was chilling on the couch, watching a little YouTube, and this just stirred up in my spirit. So first of all, if you didn't have a father, like he passed away, never had any contact with you, or maybe he did, but he wasn't around for you, and you didn't have a father figure, you might not be able to relate to what I'm about to say, but stick around because you never know. If you had your father or a father figure, even if y'all didn't have a good emotional relationship, but he was there to make sure all of your needs were met as best he could. Like, for a long time, my dad and I just always were butting heads. But when I sat with God about our relationship, one of the things he revealed to me was the correlation of my relationship with my dad to my relationship with him. And no matter how gooey, the word my husband would use, no matter how soft or unaffectionate my dad was not, it was rare that he told me no, especially as an adult, which is crazy to me. As a married woman with my own kids, my own house, I could still go to my dad and be like, can I have, or I need, or would you be able to? Usually he'd tell me no, and then in the next breath, it'd be like, how much do you need? What do you need it for? When do you need it by? He never asked about my husband, and there was literally only one time I can remember where he came across some work from home thing, and he said maybe I should look into it. And even then, it wasn't like he was telling me not to ask him for money anymore, but more like, I'm your daddy and I want to help you help yourself, right? So I'm watching YouTube, and Tiffany Montgomery was doing a video. I can't remember which one it was, but she was talking about us not knowing our identity in God. And I had to confess to myself that I haven't been fully tapping into my status as a daughter of God. And I need to go to him, being God, more like I would have with my dad. Because with my dad, I'd ask what I want and then do whatever I might need to do on my end to get it, knowing that his word was true, knowing that he's got me, knowing he would do what he said he would do. I didn't have to beg. And in the meantime of him saying yes and me receiving what I asked for, he was still taking care of me and my needs as a child and sometimes even as an adult. So why am I begging God? Why do I think or approach God as if he's going to do less than my earthly father, my human father? The Bible says that if we as people, evil people, know how to give our kids good gifts, how much more can we expect of our Father in heaven? Don't you know you're God's favorite? Because I knew I was my daddy's favorite. It took me, 40 years to realize that. But once I realized it, there was no turning back. And again, I know we all didn't have our fathers or didn't have good emotional relationships with our fathers. So this will be easier for some to relate to than others, but it's time we understand that we are God's favorite. I'm God's favorite. You are God's favorite. Each one of us who honors and worships and obeys and keeps his commands is his favorite. So why, as your father's favorite child, are you begging for what he said you could have? Why are you crying and falling out when you didn't have it when he already said yes? Why are you assuming you're messing up or did something wrong because you don't have it yet when he already said yes? And I'm just talking about me right there, okay? Yes, sometimes we're not ready. Sometimes there's still work to be done. Sometimes there are obstacles in our way that are beyond our control that we don't even see, that have to be moved before we can take receipt of what he's promised. But he's already said yes. The same way you tell your kids or your spouse or your friend yes, and they have to wait until you get the money or the time or whatever it is that you promised them, and you still take care of them in whatever capacity And they are assured that you're going to show up this time just like every other time. So they're not bugging the crap out of you because it hasn't happened yet, because your word is solid with them. That's how we need to be approaching God. And I know it's hard sometimes because we can't see him or hear him clearly all the time. And we're an impatient people, and we're looking at what's in front of us or the lack thereof. But if he's ever come through for you, provided for you, or brought you up out of anything, his word is solid with you. And that's what you hold on to. You hold on to the fact that my daddy said yes, and his word is solid. Period. And that's all I got. I'm going back to my couch and my YouTube and my afternoon coffee break. And until next time, I pray not only that you stay blessed, but I pray that this has blessed you the way it blessed me in the moment when God was downloading it to me. We have to go to God with the understanding that if he said yes, it's done. All we're waiting on is the manifestation. All we're waiting on is for it to come to fruition. All we're waiting on is for it to come to life in our hands tangibly as the thing he already promised was coming. We don't have to beg. We don't have to cry. We don't have to fall out. We don't have to be afraid that he's not going to show up on time. Even if it's not our time. Even if the bill is late. Even if, you missed the deadline. God's timing is always perfect. Even if it doesn't look like it in the moment, doesn't feel like it in the moment, because there's things that we don't see that may have been attached to the timing that we were expecting it to be held in. His timing is always perfect. We have to calm down and remember, he is solid. His word is solid. His promises are solid. He will never leave us or forsake us. Whatever he said he's going to do, he's done it already. And now we just have to wait for it to come to life. Until next time, y'all stay blessed.